Quick thing before we get started. If you disappeared from your agency for 30 days, no calls, no emails, no Slack, would it survive? Would it thrive? Would it decline? If you hesitated, I get it. I spent 12 years building my agency, and for the most part of that, I was actually the ceiling. Every decision, every client, every fire, all me. I wrote a book about what actually needed to change. It's called Operator to Owner, and it lays out the 5 identity shifts every founder has to make to stop being that bottleneck. So go to operator2ownerevolution.com. That's operator2ownerevolution.com and grab your copy. You're listening to the Smart Agency Masterclass with me, Jason Swank, and we're bringing you this episode courtesy of our friends at Wix Studio. Let's go ahead and get into the show. Hey, Jeanette, welcome to the show.
Hey, nice to be here.
Yeah, excited to have you on. Tell us who you are, what you do.
My name is Jeanette Okwu, waving from Berlin, and I am the founder and CEO of Beyond Influence, an agency that does nothing but influencer marketing for brands and organizations.
How'd you get into this?
Oh, I almost forget. It's been 15 years now. But I think in my humble beginnings, I was totally into social. When I moved to Los Angeles, also having had a little startup that wanted to become a big social network and got crushed in the 2008 crash, basically. But I continued on and did social media for agencies, for brands, etc., until I landed at the in-house agency of Jaguar Land Rover, and there it accelerated from there. We just started fairly early with influencer programs right after Instagram was opened its doors.
That's cool. That must have been fun with Jaguar and Land Rover to do their marketing. We used to do all the marketing for Lotus cars, and so I was always a car nut. So it was really pretty cool working. That Lotus operated as like a very, very, very small shop. So I'm sure it was different working with those guys.
Yes and no. You think luxury brands have all the money in the world, but they have the smallest marketing budgets. I worked prior for Mercedes on some pretty cool research projects. So we did some field excursus to determine how in trucks the seats for the drivers would look like in 2020. That was in early 2000s. So I would go to all the truck stops on the East Coast, up and down, and doing psychological interviews with truck drivers. So we had
that would be scary going to all those.
It was my dad is a truck driver, so I'm always fascinated by it, and I love cars, obviously, by association, I guess. So we would go and have all these questions for them, but that was just one part of the puzzle to really find out what is necessary for those guys, right? We did also film them while they were answering the questions. And there was a team of psychologists behind it to analyze their reactions, the emotional reactions to specific questions. And that was completely fascinating what came out. So you don't have a piece of paper where questions were answered or checked off. We also had the visual to the answers. That was really interesting.
Oh, so you were judging them. I see.
Analyzing.
There you go.
And I did the analyzing, actually.
It's pretty funny. Well, how did you pick your niche now? Like, how long did it take you to kind of go after the influencer marketing?
I think that started sort of with, going back to Jaguar Land Rover when I did social, and I also did the influencer marketing part, which led to our niche right now, or our USP right now. We do international campaigns, so we are not just doing German campaigns, but we also run them in the US, in Japan, in Australia, etc., because I was responsible for 24 markets. And with that came, you do have headquarters, they come up with something, and then they say, hey, you guys in your markets, you implement things the way we tell you to do. But that's most of the time it doesn't work because everybody has their cultural nuances or weird little thingies in each own market. For example, if you take the Middle East, you have, as Jaguar, you have your cool TV commercials. They don't work in the Middle East because you cannot show upper arms or alcohol or any of that. So that's a very interesting piece of information that I
Really?
carry
You can't
on.
do that over there?
No, 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 no.
Can't show off my guns?
No. I don't think you can show your guns in
Hey, you don't
Germany.
have to laugh that hard.
You
I mean,
can't
come
even
on.
show that off in Germany. So all this knowledge about all these markets led to our USP now, and the influencer marketing niche came, I think, from just feeling that the broader I get, the more general I get, and the more special you get, the more expertise you have. I mean, you think it's influencer marketing is just one thing, but it's so many different things. It's actually quite complicated. I mean,
Yeah.
if you, for example, read articles about influencer marketing online, they're mostly general, and I can spot from 2 miles away that these are people that don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah, it's I always tell everybody, the more you drill down with your targeting and your marketing, the more specialist that you become, the higher value that you actually provide, and the higher value that you can actually charge. And it just takes people a while to figure that out, which is okay, right? Like we all have to go through it the way we want. Now, I do want to talk about you're doing sales for the agency and really running that, but you weren't kind of a natural salesperson. So how did you figure that part out then?
I think I'm still figuring it out. I think I'm nowhere near to where I want to be. Here's the thing. I think in our space, probably like in others too, the knowledge is really specific, and that's what convinces in the end also a client to come on board. You really need to have strong knowledge. And I'm also a little bit of a control freak. I think nobody else can do it better than me if I speak to the client. So the door opening part, yes, I can probably give that away. But then the closing, since this is a fairly new marketing discipline, they want to hear, they want to see the boss, and they want to hear, the best expertise.
Well, do they really want to hear from the boss? Or
well,
do
they want to hear that they're being heard. And I think that's a skill, right? And so far, I don't have anybody on my team that has that skill. If you can point me out to somebody, please, I would love to give that away.
Yeah. Well, because I want to depack that a little bit, right? Like, because I thought that way for many, many years. And I think a lot of people find that the same thing where they're like, look, if I'm dealing with these big brands, I know more than everybody else. So it's like, I'm not even selling. And then I started trying to think, well, why is that? And I came to the realization of this is it's the success stories that I know that I can share. Mm-hmm. So if I'm talking to a Porsche at my agency, I can reference the success story we had at Lotus. If they're having, what we did with Lotus Cars and how we got Porsche was this, is like we did a ton of social media research. We called it the social CRM. And we said, Lotus, you're talking about driving experience in all of your marketing. That's what everyone associates to Porsche. Mm-hmm. And that's not good, right? Like you say, our cars have the best driving experience. And so what I realized was I understood that story, but if I could kind of document that, and that's kind of what I've told you guys in the mastermind, like document your methodology and start figuring out your success stories based on your methodology and put client stuff in there. And then you could share it with the right person. Like you nailed it on the head. You're like, no one on my team has this ability to relate, which is fine. But that's the type of person, if this is your biggest bottleneck, that you would focus on getting, and then you would go, what's the criteria? What's that personality I need to hire? Like, for example, like, Darby didn't even know what an agency was before I brought him into here.
You could never tell.
You would never know. You would never know because he was that type of person that had the qualities. He understood the consultative sale. All I had to feed to him was those success stories. That was the only missing piece.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And that's what I want everyone to kind of do, because I don't want you to feel trapped in the sales part.
No, I know. I think I know somebody, but I mean, he just freed up. We will have him over for dinner tomorrow. I just need to
butter him up.
I invited him for dinner. Him. He's really good. He also understands the space, and I've known him for quite a few years. So potentially, yes. I do have to say, what you just said, it's really about the right person. I also write my own content, or did, or now co-write, and did marketing, however you can call it, marketing, probably not, because I'm now doing for the first time outbound marketing, and I hired a marketing manager through JobRex. Actually, it was also Darby's recommendation.
Oh, cool!
And I nailed it. I found Ivana from Serbia. Boy, I needed her, and she's actually more control freakish than I am. She says, this needs to be perfect. This needs to be perfect. So lucked out there, actually. So this was good. Well, but you're right. That goes exactly to what we were talking before.
Yeah. And look, it's kind of what I always tell everybody too, is if this is not your biggest bottleneck, then don't worry about it for right now. Like I had a client the other day send me an email. It's like 18 things that they wanted to accomplish. I was like, this is not this is not a priority list. Like, this is a distraction. Like, let's just focus on one or two things. And that's just hard. I mean, that's why my team made me put a turtle on my, get a turtle tattoo, because I do too much.
Slow down? You have to slow down.
I didn't want a turtle. You get a lot better tattoo than a turtle.
Where is it?
Right up on arm.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh, cute though.
But it went with the Iron Man tattoo and the mountains and that kind of stuff. So when I did the Iron Man many years ago, I finished. It took me 16 hours and 20 minutes to finish, and you have to finish within 17 hours. So I was like one of the slowest. So I thought putting a turtle right under that made total sense. So since I lost a bet with the team, but yeah, well, cool. Well, this has been a blast. I loved having you on. Is there anything, Jeanette, that I didn't ask you that you think would benefit the listeners listening in?
I don't know. Maybe what AI does to our industry.
Sure.
Because that's on everybody's mind, right? So what we always hear is, will there be now all these AI influencers stealing away the jobs from the real influencers? And I think that, like in any other agency, there's so much more to what AI can do than just this. Of course, right? There will be artificial influencers. We've seen this at Coachella. There was a ton of content where
already happened. Yeah.
And these people, posted content, but they weren't even there. So they didn't even get sunburned, or they could do costume changes 6 times a day, etc. No travel costs, no nothing. but and it performed as well the same way the content performed as with human people. I think that authenticity is going to become more important. That some content, yes, being consumed by people that are not real, but if it comes to specific topics, people want to talk to a human, to a real person. I also think offline events will become more important to really bond in person. So that's probably something. And the whole content production process for creators is going to be much more efficient with AI, as is for agencies who run these campaigns. You know, you can forecast performance, you can search these people that you want to work with even better, and the reporting and the real life optimization of campaigns will also be much faster, etc.
Well, I think it'll make it easier for agencies, because what do we always complain about the most is waiting on clients to get us their shit. And now we just be like, all right, I'll create it. Like, especially with, you know, what Google just rolled out with their new video stuff. Like, it's pretty amazing. I haven't even really had the chance to kind of dive into it yet, but like, I was like, wow, like I just started seeing some videos on it. And yeah, like I just think of the progression or the evolution. You know, who had the power many years ago before social media? It was like all the actors and that kind of stuff. Then, you know, like the Logan Pauls, or like hate them or love them or whatever.
Oh, wow. He was
right? Like they started producing content and they got a lot of power, right? Or the Mr. Beast or whatever. You know, you can't, like, even if you hate them, you can't ignore that they got people's attention. And now what's going to happen is a lot of those AI influencers, these companies are going to create it, and then it's going to piss off the real influencers. But like you said, what you stand for and the live stuff, like, let's say you follow, like I saw something a couple weeks ago. It was like this really pretty lady, fake, with a country song and a video, and got millions of followers or something like that. I didn't really pay too much attention to it, but you can never meet that person. So how could you really even connect? Like, you know, for your idols that people look up to, if you can meet them, like if you know you can like meet them one day, or like, it just, I think it separates. Look, your agency adapts for every client, right? Your builder should do the same. That's why Wix Studio is built for the way you actually create. AI-powered site mapping lets you get straight down to the design. Whether you shape things in Figma or start in Studio, your vision's coming to life quicker with no-code animations and built-in responsiveness. And for client growth that actually scale, you've got extendable business solutions and a dynamic CMS. Scale your agency at wixstudio.com.
It does. Also, I think there is, from a this is now getting a little bit official, from a consumer protection point of view, is you need to find some guardrails around this, right? So if somebody, so either a brand creates their own avatar, brand avatar. There are many brands who do that already, even luxury brands. So they're basically just showing off the clothes, for example, or talk about, there was one actually in Brazil, like it's always already 10 years old, that thing. It was an avatar for a department store. And she basically promoted all the products that were in the department store. She's gone now off and does her own thing. She is being booked by other brands outside of the department store, but she is now agency owned. So they rent them out. They're always punctual. They never gain weight. They don't talk back. They don't have a bad history. So no shitstorm or anything, but they need a story, like little Michaela, for example, right? So it's very important that you declare that they are, and B, you need to put a lot of time and effort into get the right follower. So brands say, okay, I want to book this person.
I saw this creative thing that this company did a couple weeks ago, and they had a company like mine. They didn't go after agencies, but they were kind of like training people in AI. And it was a video, and the video was AI of him, like his avatar. And he said right in the very beginning, I'll use me as an example. It said, "This is Jason Swank's avatar. Jason is with his mastermind members doing cool stuff, helping them out. But this is in his own words, what he wants you to know about how to do so-and-so." And then the video went in. And I thought that was kind of pretty genius, because then it disarmed me, going, you're trying to trick me. I know that's not Jason or whoever this person was. It's like, oh, that's kind of creative. Like, that's cool. Like, I was like, and I watched it.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. You need to actually, there are on Instagram already guardrails that you have to declare if something has AI in it, either filter or something is produced with AI. And I spoke to a technology company today. Actually, they're going to come out with a product in the next couple of months or something, where you can see if somebody takes your content and changes that content, or if there is AI involved in it.
Oh, so it's like making a video of me and going, agencies are done.
Yes, something like that. But I also see already accounts on YouTube where it's the avatar. It's a well-known YouTube account where basically the avatar sits in for the actual creator and does stuff.
Yeah, and it's going to only get better and better. It's just
crazier and crazier.
I mean, I think, until I started diving into it about like 6 months ago, I was scared of it. Be honest with you, I was like, oh, all of us.
Was it overwhelming? Was it overwhelming for you, and you didn't know where left and right was?
I didn't understand it, and I was listening to all the stupid influencers out there of going, agencies are dead because you can do this, and then until I started kind of diving into it and realizing the great opportunity that humans have to use these tools, and it still needs a director, right? And I was always really good at delegating. Like in college, that's my thing. Like a teacher would give it an assignment, and I'd look around like the 5 people, be like, all right, guys, you do this. Jeanette, you do this. I just assign everything. And they never got the wiser of like, I was already a leader.
Well, that's good. Good for you. You found your niche.
I found it early just because I didn't want to do the work. And so like you have more power now. And until I started kind of understanding the capabilities and some of the stuff, I was like, and then I started getting into it. I'm like, man, this is amazing. And then I've been driving Darby and Stacy and Jody crazy because they're like, check this out. Or when they're like, go away, I'll go to my wife and she'll like, go away. So
I have the go away at home too.
Like, look what I created.
Yeah, but here's the thing: if you really, and you did it with your agency blueprint, if you really sit down and want to stitch things together so that one thing leads to another, it's not that easy, and it needs to work. And sometimes, or oftentimes, things break. And you're frustrated, and then your credits run out, and then it tells you to go into the corner and come back 5 hours later. That's makes me mad.
That's when you switch multiple models. So you keep working, but it does get frustrating. But then I have to remind myself, it's frustrating when you bring on a new team member and trying to get them up to speed, and then realizing that this AI is as dumb as it will ever be at this moment right now, and it will only keep getting better and better. It's kind of like the Florida weather. Wait 5 minutes if you don't like it. It changes. Um, and it's just really pretty cool. I heard something really cool. It was about two lumberjacks, right? You know what a lumberjack is? They cut down trees, right? And the story goes like this. Two lumberjacks start at the same time, end at the same time. One of the lumberjacks goes home or leaves for like 3 hours during the day, but the one that leaves for 3 hours actually produces twice as much. So the lower lumberjack is like, dude, like where do you go for these 3 hours that you're gone? Like I'm working more than you, but you're producing more. Because I go home to sharpen my axe.
Well, I think his name was Jason.
I know. Yeah, he gets more efficient. But the thing is, the whole point of that story is you have to take some time back and take some time off to kind of see. Like if we're, like for the past couple of months, I've been head down in AI. And about last week, I started kind of easing off just so I can kind of breathe and see again. And get that energy back. So I heard that story the other day. I was like, oh, that relates so much to agency owners. Like, go sharpen your axe.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's though you need to be careful because I could just spend hours in the LLMs, but
you could do days.
That's such a job. You have to make sure that unless I make myself redundant, which I'd love to do, but I think I need a few more years to do that.
Yeah.
Scale
but you would be
bit.
bored. You would be bored, like totally redundant. Like your role just shifts, right? Like that's what this is for, right? It's just
I'm looking forward to read it. Yeah.
Yeah. So your role shifts as we get more capabilities. Like I even saw something from Jeff Bezos. He was talking about AI. He's like, everyone thinks that these people, like all these roles are going to go away. He's like, they are not going to go away. Like they are just going to be more enhanced. They'll be more efficient and better. So, when I hear all that, I'm like, all right, come on. Like, let's tell people that so they don't think I need to sell now because we're all screwed. You're not screwed. You're screwed if you don't change or evolve.
That's true. That's absolutely true. Yeah.
Well, awesome. Well, thanks so much for coming on the show, Jeanette, and giving us time and sharing back and forth. And for everyone listening, if you guys enjoyed this, make sure you like, subscribe, and share it out with a fellow agency owner going through all of this with us. So until next time, have a swank day.